So I'm going to start the show off with asking you, Blaze, what are you currently playing? Obviously, you just mentioned Legend of Zelda on. I'm assuming the Nintendo Switch Online, right?
Yeah, on the retro accounts or whatever it's called, the
Yeah,
virtual
it's called the
console.
NSO. It's the Nintendo Switch Online. Yeah, some people call it Virtual Console. It kind of is, but anyhow. So you've been playing Legend of Zelda, which it's about time, is all I have to say. Because Legend of Zelda is one of the greatest
Well,
games of all.
I
So,
didn't
and
play
A
it
Link to
much.
the Past is better than the original, but it's still, they're all great except for Link 2 or Legend of Zelda 2. Uh, that's that kind of reminds me in a worse way, and I say worse way because um Super Mario Brothers 2 is obviously so different than Mario 1, Mario 3, Mario World, all the other Marios. Super Mario 2 is just a completely different game, but it's got a charm to it and I like it,
I actually love to.
but it's
I think that's my
but it
favorite of the
but
old.
I like it for what the game is, but not comparable to the other games, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, where I think Link 2 or Legend of Zelda 2 is similar, where it's a completely different game, or it feels like a completely different game, without the charm of everybody loving it, if that makes sense.
That's probably
So
because Zelda didn't steal an already existing Japanese game and then reskin it
this
with
is
Link and Zelda.
this is true. So what are you playing currently?
All right, so other than playing those retro games, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 with actually my one of my sons and also with my best friend. Um, Me and my best friend has beaten a right here's some Baldur's Gate. But we beat the game once. And now we're playing through again, but we're playing through as it's called the Dark Urge, and we're playing as villains. We're essentially going through the game. Baldur's Gate 3, if you don't know anything about it, it is an RPG, turn-based RPG. It's pretty much Dungeons and Dragons. The rules are from Dungeons and Dragons. Um, it is essentially meant to be a video game version of Dungeons and Dragons, and it's amazing. This is this is my favorite game right now. Um, Probably of all time. I'm playing through the second time, and I'm also playing with my son, and that's technically a third playthrough, but we haven't finished either. And I'm playing through by myself here and there. I love this game. Um, this game is amazing. It won Game of the Year, I believe, last year. Um, it is. If you haven't played it, what is wrong with you? Why haven't
I
you played it? Here's the gameplay right here. You take turns. You get to go as far as you need to, and then you can do attacks and stuff. If you like turn-based RPGs, now that is one thing. If turn-based RPGs aren't your thing, then maybe this isn't your game. If you don't like Dungeons and Dragons, this might not be your game. I love turn-based RPGs. That's my favorite genre of game. That's when I said I didn't play Zelda, I know Zelda is supposed to be like an RPG, but it's an action RPG, which I don't like as much as a turn-based. I love turn-based. Um, Me not playing the first Zelda was more about the fact that I didn't have Zelda as a kid. I think I did get my hands on Link to the Past, so I played a little bit of that one, but I never owned the first game, and I haven't had a Nintendo for most of my adult life, so it's not like something I could jump back into. Till now. Now I do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 for the Xbox Series S. If you get your hands on it, there's not a lot of turn-based RPGs with multiplayer, and you can play up to 4 people on this game at one time. And each character has their own story, essentially. I mean, you're going through the story together, but you can develop relationships with these characters. You can fall in love with these characters, and each person that's playing can fall in love with a different character. and you have your whole different stories with those each character. You also have players that can die. Your main characters can die in this game. Or they leave. I had during my Dark Urge playthrough, we decided to murder an entire town. One of my team members actually left my camp and no longer is part of my crew because he didn't like the fact that I murdered an entire town. I don't know why. I mean, I was evil and I wanted to be evil. So non-evil characters didn't want to stay in my team.
Huh.
It's an incredible game.
So for me, this is the first time I've seen footage of this game. I've heard you talk about it, but I just so it's very what's the term when you kind of have like a grid, and
Mhm.
I'm guessing just from watching this, I'm guessing you can only move so close to the enemy before you can start attacking, or if you
It
have a
depends on
long
your
range
character. I
attack,
mean,
can you attack anytime? Like I'm just watching this.
well, it depends on your character. Like, say you're a ranger, you want to stay back and shoot them with arrows, and then you can be far away. If you're a barbarian, you want to get up close and personal and attack. So it depends on the moves you're using. Depends on
Now,
how close you have to be
now
to.
each turn do you have to choose to move or attack? Like is
Yeah.
that
So
so that's
see that
one
little white
turn?
line that character just had. So that
Okay.
white line, depending on how fast your character is, depends on how far you can move a turn. And on your turn, you can do a, a movement and a regular attack. And there's also certain moves that you have which take bonus action. So you have two different actions you can take and a movement on each character's turn. Same with the enemy. Now there's like spells that will say, "Oh, I can do two attacks." And when you level up, you can get possibly two attacks a turn. Or as a sorcerer, sometimes I can attack two enemies at the same time. It just depends on the
Time
type.
to press ahead.
There's like 12 different classes you can play. They're about to do patch 8, which is going
My
to add
path
new
true.
subclasses for your characters that I'm excited about because they're adding Drunken Master for the monk class. Your monk class is you use your fist, you don't use weapons. It's a lot
Okay,
of fun.
cool. Yeah,
And
I mean, so this game looks interesting. I've heard you talk about it. I've never played it. Is this on Game Pass or do I have to buy this?
no, this is probably full. I saw it on sale once since it's came out.
Okay. So this is something you'd have to pick up. Well, for me, physically, or you could get it digitally online if you're
Yeah.
if you're one of the haters of gaming preservation and hate to see gaming still around. But so Microsoft could flip the switch and you can stop playing this tomorrow if they choose to. Okay, I
Yeah.
gotcha. So as you get to know us on this show, you will learn that I am a huge supporter of physical, um, not really just physical media, but physical games. I know, I am a very I buy my games physical. The only time I ever buy it digital if I see a sale, and it's such a dirt like a good example is they were having a sale not too long ago, and I picked up Contra's anniversary collection, which has Contra, Super Contra, Contra 3, the Alien Wars, just a bunch of the old Contra games on Xbox, and I think I paid $3. And it's like I'm never going to find that at a store for $3 physical, and it wasn't something that I was looking for to buy. I saw it on the sale and I'm like, for $3, I can play the old Contra games. I'm going to buy it. And I did that the same thing. They had a Castlevania sale. I bought two different Castlevania collections on Xbox because of the same situation. It was like $4 or $5 for each collection. And it was just so cheap.
My way.
Um, but when it comes to the newest Mario game that comes out, I am not buying that digitally. I'm buying that, I'm
Yeah.
buying that first. But that's just who I am as a gamer. I like having my games physical.
I
But
have a
this
Series S
game
and I have to
actually,
buy digital.
I know you do. You have a digital only console. You're part of the problem. So anyhow, but
I'm poor. Sorry.
I I really um I don't know. This game looks like something I'd be willing to check out if I find it on a sale or if it hops up on Game Pass. I don't know if I'm running to the store and buying it today, but I know there's people who are into this that I would definitely. It looks like it would take up a lot of my time.
Oh,
Um,
100%. I think I had
so
160 hours on my first playthrough.
Jeez.
I
Oh,
could
man.
probably even check it for you if you wanted me to. But it's by far one of my favorite games of all time already. I love this game. I'm playing through again. If you were to pick this up, I would 100% happily play through this again with you. Because it's a different game story every time, because you can do things. I had characters not survive in my first gameplay.
The big blob guy looks like he's tweaking out in this video.
Yeah.
What's
I
going on
remember
there?
this boss. He was like he has like some kind of trick. You have to like get him to steam or something. I don't remember. It's been a while, but I remember him having some kind of trick to beating him.
Okay, so Baldur's
But I don't
Gate
remember.
3. Okay,
Huh?
cool. I said, okay, so Baldur's Gate 3. This looks,
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's going to be gamers out there that's probably already playing this, but maybe you just, helped somebody get into it. Because to me, it looks cooler than I thought it would be. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I would check this out.
Time to push.